Joshua Harris, a best-selling Christian author and senior pastor of a megachurch, has recently left his Christian faith, making it public on several social media platforms. If you are a Christian, get comfortable with this. In today's technologically advancing world, information that exposes the illogical fallacies and lacking evidences for most major religions are now more readily available. And we are beginning to see a trend of people doing their own research. Christianity is closing down churches in record numbers all across America and other modernizing nations. This year, in 2019, Lifeway Bookstores, a popular chain of Christian books and merchandise, announced that it will be closing all of its stores due to a lack of sales. Pastors abandoning their faith and the decline of church attendance is not a sign of a 2,000-year-old Bronze Age belief that Jesus is coming back soon and will float down from a cloud with all of the angels in the sound of trumpets, but rather that reality is beginning to hit home in the minds of those who want more truth and honesty in their lives. A Christian's relationship with this Abrahamic God resembles an imaginary one. Most believers will try to convince themselves and others that it is more, but it really isn't. Many people are starting to come to terms with this reality, while others simply don't want to give up the comfort blanket. People can be very uncomfortable with thinking they have been wrong about something so central to their life. Furthermore, they have been emotionally invested in and love believing that they have a real relationship with a real God who will take them to a perfect heaven when they die. Even though, in reality, this so-called relationship hardly eases a Christian's fear of death, and resembles even less than that of a child who finds comfort in a teddy bear. But they will find ways to convince themselves it is real, and avoid any information that would challenge this cherished belief. In psychology, this is referred to as cognitive dissonance. They will talk to this God, and some will actually believe they are having a two-way conversation. As some of you probably know, I spent most of my life talking to this God, sometimes on my knees, and I also believed he was operating in my life and communicating back to me. But eventually, I began to wonder if it was a bit crazy on my end. I mean, people don't walk on water or float up into the clouds. Perhaps I was even embellishing a bit on my own miracle testimonies that I would often recite to convince myself. Eventually, I began to perform proper and honest research and exposed my delusions. Here is the stark reality that I now realize we all face. Each one of us derives from approximately 40 million sperm cells competing for our mother's egg, as random chance, without prejudice, operates amongst each and every one of us who successfully become an embryo. There is a possibility you could be born with two heads. If there is an intelligent designer behind this universe, it appears in every way to be absent from this process and indifferent to the suffering of people or animals. It would be more likened to a turtle that lays its eggs on the seashore and then leaves, never to be involved in our pursuit for survival. My friends, I have created a 16-video series describing my profound experience of divorcing Christianity and every good reason for why it is not believable. If you are beginning to wonder about the religion you were taught or likely born into, I would encourage you to visit Stairway to Reason and begin by watching video number 1. And stay strong and wise, my friends.
I don't believe in masquerades. I don't believe that you're okay. I don't believe that God will save. Only you can solve your problems. I don't care what they sold you.